Brilliant Stars just released, and it brought us a deck that has the potential to be the best single prize deck in the format. Roll the intro. Welcome back to a brand new Pokemon trading card game online video. Hitmonchanning here, and today we're going to talk about Torterra, my favorite Sinnoh starter. And with the release of Brilliant Stars, I'm going to be tackling a lot of Brilliant Stars decks in the coming days, weeks, and months. And today I want to talk about Torterra because I have a build here which I believe might be the best way to play it, might not be, but it's certainly a good place to start with this deck, and I'm obviously going to be testing it a little bit more, but I really like where the deck is at right now, and I wanted to share it, give you some first impressions, because a lot of people have been hyping up Torterra with its Evo Press attack. 50 damage times 50 for each of your evolution Pokemon in play. You can do up to 300 damage if all of your board is filled with evolution Pokemon. 330 if you're using a choice spell. For 2 energy attachments, that is really good. And now the struggle is, this is on a stage 2. What's the deal with that? Well, it's not too hard when you consider that Grotle has the ability Sun-Drenched Shell, where once during your turn you may search your deck for a grass Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Combine that with Rare Candy, and you're going to be smacking out Torterras really easily. I am playing a 2-2 line of the Bidoof Bibarel, so with Industrious and Scissors, once during your turn you can draw till you have 5 in your hand. It's really good. It's an evolution Pokemon that helps us out with draw, and it gets you it kind of helps you through the moments where you might brick, because it's very possible. I'm also running 1-1 Leafeon VSTAR. Now you may be thinking, why are you running the 2 prizers in this 1 prizer deck? Because we don't run any Crobats or any Luminion because we want to have bench space free for our evolution Pokemon. Leafeon and Leafeon VSTAR are really good support Pokemon. Greening Cells can basically assure you that you're getting a turn 2 Torterra in terms of energy, and then Ivysaur acts as a free boss's order as long as there's no Path to the Peak in play. So that's really good. Now we have some couple of other Pokemon here that kind of need describing before we go into the next into the games. Beedrill with the Elusive Master ability. Once in your turn, if this Pokemon is the last card in your hand, you may play it onto your bench if you do draw 3 cards. This is really good because we can thin our hand down with Ultra Ball, discard things, same thing with Quick Ball, and we can get that Bibarel onto our bench, a free evolution Pokemon, and draw 3. That's pretty good. Now the Empoleon has the same idea, but with its emergency servicing ability. Once during your turn, this Pokemon is in your discard pile and you have no cards in your hand, you may put this Pokemon onto your bench and draw 3. Same idea as Beedrill. Ultra Ball really helps us out. And then we also have Manaphy in here with Wave Veil to protect our bench until we're fully set up. So the only other card that's really noteworthy of mentioning here, we got 1 Boss's Orders because we have a Leafeon. We don't play any Research. Play Raihan so we can consistently get Torterras up. We play Peony. Play the Peony engine because discard your hand and search your deck for 2 trainers, reveal them, and put them into your hand. It's really good when you have Bibarel to draw your hand back up to 5, and where you can get a Torterra guaranteed off of that with an Evo Incense and Rare Candy. The rest of the deck is pretty standard. We got Pel Pads to get back our supporters because we don't actually have a whole lot of them. We got 2 Choice Belt, 2 Air Balloon, 1 Pot Helmet, so if it's attached to our Torterras, they'll take 30 less damage from attacks, which is really clutch, especially against the Arceus V-Star matchup. Our Torterra can survive an extra turn, which is insane. The prize trade is heavily skewed in your favor in that scenario. But enough of me talking, let's get into the games and hopefully get some good ones. Calling the coin flip, tails never fails, and we won. Now I hope we get a good starting hand here because this deck is really reliant on setup. And it looks like we got a great starting hand actually. We can get this Empoleon into the discard, attach our energy, with the Quick Ball, get another. Ooh, Jolteon. This is going to be a bit tough. They won't be able to get us next turn, so I think we're going to grab a Turtwig. I'm not going to attach anything like this for now. We're actually going to use that capture energy and get a Bidoof down because we're going to need some draw for next turn. I'm gonna leave this for now, and we're just gonna greening cells and get that Turtwig pretty much ready to go for Torterra. If we find that we can attach our Grotle or evolve our Grotle, that would be pretty good. And we can use Sunshine Shell to get out another Turtwig attached to that. We can just make that Grotle a pretty beefy boy. I really hope we find a Bibarel. That is our goal right now, because if we don't find that Bibarel, we're going to be in a little bit of a tight spot this early on in the game, and that's not very good. They're going to Marnie us. I'm very happy. Thank you for the Marnie. Thank you very much, opponent, because that would have been a tough hand. But let's see what we would have drawn off of our top deck next turn. We got that Evo Incense. We would have been fine. We're doing A-OK anyways. We can just go ahead, play that Bibarel, play that Turtwig. And they're not even going to go for the attack here with Thunder Spear. That's interesting. But Cynthia's Ambition, also a really good top deck. Now, I can Ordinary Rod, but no, I wouldn't do Ordinary Rod. So what I think I want to do is I want to Evo Incense. And we have 4 Torterra. We have the Beedrill in the deck. So I think I want to grab the Torterra. And then we're going to Industrious and Scissors and try and find that rare candy. Get the Peony. We don't get rare candy. I think what we'll end up doing is I'm going to Quick Ball, because we're going to dump this hand and go for rare candy Torterra. So we have Torterra, so we got an Evo Incense, we got the rare candy. I think that's what I'll do. But the question is, I think Manaphy's the play here. And we're just going to dump that Peony. Evo Incense, rare candy. And then we're going to get that Torterra back. Evolve. And now, look at this play. Empoleon, Emergency Surfacing. Onto our bench, draw 3. Perfect. We have the attack. We're going to be doing 150 damage right now. I think we just go for the retreat into the Torterra, and we Evo Press for 150. Look at that. On our second turn, we're going to be at least hitting 150. That Manaphy makes it so that even if they get their Zigzagoon Ping or their quick shootings, they're not going to be able to hit our bench. They're going to have to waste the boss's orders to get that Manaphy up into the active. Now they got the Cheryl. That's okay though, because next turn, I didn't even check if our V-STAR was in the deck. If it is, we're good. If not, then it'll be a little bit of a struggle, because we can either V-STAR and Boss, or we can, or V-STAR the Ivy Star, obviously, or we can just kind of chill out and get that extra 50 damage on the board. The good thing is that now that we have our Bibarel in play, we can consistently draw. But it looks like they might be stuck. Okay, never mind. They got the Evo Incense. They got the their Drizzle that they were looking for. I was just kind of surprised how I haven't evolved the Jolteon and healed yet. It's a little bit interesting. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. So we'll have to wait and see. But we're at least smacking 150 right now, which is good. They're going for the research, so no Cheryl here, which means that next turn, their thing is their Jolteon's gone. They evolved the bench Jolteon, so I think they're kind of just sacrificing this one. Thunder Spirit doesn't work, man. We got that Manaphy. We're just gonna Cynthia first, see what we can get. Got a Pot Helmet. I think that it's worth getting the heals, or not the heals, the damage reduction, as opposed to our choice spell. But we're gonna attach to our Turtwig, gonna Bibarel for 3, or for 2, I should say. Let's see what we get. Got a Pow Pad. That's pretty good. I'd actually like to get a Peony and Cynthia back into the deck right now, because that Peony giving us the hand dump is good. And now we're just going to Evo Press and knock them out. So unless they get our Manaphy, they're not going to be able to take out our bench Pokemon. Got an Ultra Ball is also really good. I can Ultra Ball away that Bibarel and the Turtwig maybe. Grab myself a Grotle, because we're gonna have to get another Torterra up. But the good thing is, with Max Thunder Rumble, they're only gonna be doing 70 damage per hit. So they're gonna need to be using their quick shootings and all of their pings on the active to take it down. And our bench isn't gonna be suffering, which is another good thing. got their elemental badge, they got their scoop up net. So they're going to be hitting us this turn. Headbutt Tantrum, that's fine. You can't hit it, man. Now, I feel like they're ooh, got the Marnie. That's okay. Because if we draw into a workable hand, it's very, very plausible that we can get our rare candy Torterra, we can get a Peony, got a Beedrill. That's actually not too bad either, depending on what we draw and if they take any KOs here. It looks like they're getting ready to go for the attack. No boss this turn, so they can take out the Manaphy. It's another turn of Manaphy saved. Let's check how many scoop up nets they've used. They've used no, none of them yet, but they have one in hand. I think they have two in hand actually. We'll see. Got another Jolteon. Probably gonna scoop up a Zigzagoon, and they're just gonna max Thunder Rumble for 70 damage on the active. Now, obviously, I think we're gonna attach to the Turtwig. And I think the play is actually to Ultra Ball away these, grab ourselves a Grotle. So next turn we got a guaranteed Torterra. And now I think we're gonna Industrious Incisors because I don't want to leave my hand low even though we have the Elusive Master over here. Now, I think it's good to Sun-Drenched Shell and grab a Turtwig right now. Just so that way we throw it out of the deck. And we're just going to go ahead and Evo Press for 200 damage. Now, we're going to be two-shotting this thing pretty easily. And there's not going to be much that they can do about it. They're going to have to Cheryl. It's going to be a little bit of a pain for them to continuously keep up the pressure. Thing is with that Manaphy on our bench, that's the only downside, is that we're not going to be able to get the full 300 damage with Torterra because Manaphy can't evolve. Now, I debated playing a Scoop Up Net or two in here as like switching options, but it does more harm than good because you can't really Scoop Up Net and then get something evolved to replace like the Bibarel that you scooped up, for example, if that Bibarel was in the active. So I opted to go for the double air balloon instead. I think that works a little bit better. They're gonna go for the Scoop Up Net. Gonna probably ping our active. No, they're actually gonna attach to the next Jolteon. They're getting ready for the next turn. Let's see if they have the Cheryl. They attached, so if they did have the Cheryl, they couldn't actually attack with this Jolteon VMAX. So I think it might just kind of be sacrificed to our mighty Torterra. They're gonna go for the retreat. There's not much they can do. Now I think we just Sun-Drenched Shell, find our Torterra. We have our boss in deck, but there's not really much we can do to thin our hand. We'll attach the air balloon for now, and we can actually attach the grass energy to our Torterra here, because I'm expecting a Fan of Waves to come down at some point. We're gonna burn this Ultra Ball. We'll just fail it. Try and draw one. If we get that boss, they're done for. Did not, which is okay. I'm just gonna Evo Press for a crisp 400 damage. Take our prize. Now we just got to see what they got. We got the Leafeon, so essentially, if this Jolteon's not healed, we win next turn. Just like that. They got their Jolteon out here. They're going to drop another Goon Ping. Just okay, they're only doing 70 damage to us, so right now that's 160. They're going to have to find a double quick shooting, or else we just win. And they're going to retreat again. Seems like that's going to be it, because they couldn't find their other quick shooters. Might have a dead hand right now. And I think that'll be it. Kind of stuck what to do. They don't know we have the VSTAR in our hand, but they have the path, so actually I don't think we can do that. Never mind. I jumped the gun a little bit, because we don't actually play any stadiums in here. There's not much we can do. But I'm going to evolve the VSTAR anyways, because that gives us extra damage. I'm going to attach this to our benched Torterra boy. And I don't want a Marty. I don't want to give them an out. So I'm just going to Evo Press. And we're just going to do a nice 500 damage, because now we're doing 250. And 250 damage, that's nothing to scoff at. That Raihan is really good because it can help us get what we need in the case that our Torterra is knocked out, which it inevitably will be. But they're gonna need to find their pinks. They're gonna need to find their quick shooters. If they can't find their quick shooters, they can't take out our bench. If they can't take out our bench, they can't do anything against us. That's where the Manaphy really comes in clutch, because a deck like this in last format would stand no chance because of the bench power that, and that's it. Look at that. Torterra just beats Jolteon VMAX. Look at that easy win. Our opponent is calling the coin flip here. Hopefully we go first, because with this deck, going first is really good. But going second isn't too bad either, because you can do that turn 2 Peony. Which is why I actually debated throwing in Battle VIP Pass. This is like my 5th iteration of the deck, and in my 4th iteration, I threw the Battle VIP Pass 4 of in there. The thing is, this deck is really tight. We're gonna have to take a mulligan. Otherwise, this would have been a great hand if we had a basic. We could get our entire squad out, but they're really gonna know what we're playing here, our opponent. They're gonna be able to see our main hitters. This is actually not a bad hand. We got our Bidoof to start, which means we're gonna have to find that air balloon early on. Wait and see what my opponent is playing here. Single strike Urshifu. Could be a single strike deck. Looks like it. Oh, yep, it's definitely a single strike deck. Playing the Snover, which is interesting. I hope they don't get an attachment here, because that would kind of be bad for us. It would mean they can attack next turn. They do. Ugh, that's not good. We're gonna have to kind of step up our game a little bit quickly. I think I'm gonna have to get rid of that Ordinary Rod. And that's all they do. Okay. Got the Marnie, that's pretty good. We're gonna quick ball away the Ordinary Rod. We have our Leafeon. I know we have our VSTAR. Got one Bibarel in the deck. Not great. We have our Elusive Master and we have our Empoleon. So I'm going to quick ball for this Turtwig. Now we're gonna capture energy down for the Leafeon. Manaphy's not gonna do us too much in this matchup. We're gonna attach this. Now, I'm gonna quick ball this Ultra Ball away as much as I hate to do it. And I need to grab this other Bidoof, because we have a lower chance of hitting the Bidoof than we do the Turtwigs. And we're just gonna go ahead and Marnie. Hopefully we get something good. Got another Turtwig, that's perfect. We went from a shaky start to a really good start with that. Got our Turtwig down. And if we can find another quick ball, we already used 2 of them. If we can find some way to get this Empoleon in the discard, then next turn we can be doing great. So we're going to Greening Cells to the other Turtwig, spread our energy out a little bit. And because what that does is, because we have our attachment in hand, we have a Grass and we have a Capture, we're going to get our second attachment off. Now, the struggle is, will we find our Rare Candy Torterra? It's possible. I've done it. We find our Peony, we do it to him. Peony would be a great top deck. Regardless, we got that Evo Incense, so we got the Bidoof to help us out here. Or the Bibarel. I always get the two confused. But let's see. We can play that Capture Energy on our small Turtwig there. We're going to see the research come out, so no boss. So that means they're going to be hitting the Bibarel, or the Bidoof in the active. Lucky Ice Pop, that's interesting. I think that's for the Gengar if they play it. Haven't seen one so far. I haven't seen a Lucky Ice Pop, but maybe they're going for a tankier build, which is very possible because the Snover is here. Snover isn't usually in the single strike deck, so we'll see. Another good thing is that the Umbreon is weak to grass, so we're going to be smacking that Umbreon down so easily. Even the VMAX, we're going to be taking that thing down very easily. And they're just going to laser focus, which is really good for us. Buys us some time to build up our board a little bit. Got an Ultra Ball, that's a great top deck. So first off, I think we're going to Evo Incense and grab that. Bibarel. I think the Bibarel's better. Because what I want to do is I want Bibarel on the bench. I want to... I should capture energy so I can get... No, but I need that actual bench space for the Empoleon, so I'm going to attach the Turtwig. Ultra Ball away these guys. And we're going to grab a Grotle. Now, my play is to put the Grotle here. Then we're going to emergency surfacing. Get onto the bench and draw 3. Got the Torterra. Now, do we get the rare candy? No, we got the peony. So, I think my play is... This is tough because... No, I think this is the play right here. The play right here is to grab another Grotle. Put that Grotle there. Grotle again, and grab another Torterra. So we get double Torterra next turn. And we can use our peony to find an air balloon. And plus, we can use our Sun-Drenched Shell ability to search out a Leafeon. And to end our turn, I'll actually just Greening Cells to our other Grotle, so we have the energy attachment if we get hit by a Crushing Hammer or something. So we're doing really good right now. My hope is they don't have a boss so they can just boss something up. But even if they do, that's okay because we're actually pretty set up on the bench. Worst comes to worst, we can use that Elusive Master Beedrill. I have an Ordinary Rod left in the deck or in my prizes or somewhere so far. So it's very possible that I can just Ordinary Rod that Beedrill back and play the Elusive Master. That Marnie is not good. That's always what I'm afraid of. I'm thinking too far ahead. If only they didn't have a Marnie. Let's see what we get. We get that rare candy, so we do have... we have the Torterra regardless. The rare candy is really not much of a help now. We can just Ultra Ball that away and we can go for the Cynthia. Especially if they knock out our Bidoof, because Cynthia's Ambition will have us draw until we have 8 in our hand, which is excellent. We can also Sun-Drenched Shell for our VSTAR. So as long as we find our air balloon, we're going to be doing big damage. We can potentially knock out... Oh, not anymore. We can't knock out the Urshifu anymore. I was going to say, we could knock out the VMAX even if they had one. But they're going to be getting that Umbreon ready. Now, my concern is... Do we go for the Umbreon or do we go for the Single Strike? So just going to Impact Blow. Single Strike might be correct. Because I don't actually think that Umbreon's going to be able to take us out in one shot. It might be. No, it will be with the Single Strike energy on there. So just going to promote that Grotle. We're attacking anyway. Now, first things first, Sun-Drenched Shell for a Torterra. Then, Sun-Drenched Shell for Torterra. We can get our V-Star with that Ultra Ball. We don't need our rare candies anymore. So we're going to double evolve. 1, 2. Now, bench that Turtwig because we need him there. Ultra Ball away, Rhydon rare candy. Grab ourselves the V-Star. Now, this is a dilemma here. First of all, we're going to Cynthia. Got our Peonies, got our Grotles. That's good. I'm going to hold on to this Choice Belt. But I will attach to our Turtwig. Now, my dilemma is, do I Ivy Star and get something on the bench? Or do I hold the Ivy Star? Because my boss should still be there. And I can take anything out. I'm doing 250 right now. That Umbreon, the way I look at it, next turn I'm dying anyway, so I might as well take out the Urshifu. And... Oh wait, no, I'm not taking out the Urshifu. I'm only doing 250. No, I am. I'm doing 250 plus 30. The Urshifu's gone, because Toughness Boost only gives 50 HP. Yeah, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. I'm taking it out. I think the play is just go for the Evo Press and take out that Urshifu. Get rid of some of their basic energy. I think that might be it. First all, 280 damage. Goodbye, Urshifu. Now, if our boss is prized, I hope we get it. Get rid of Torterra, that's good. thing is, now is going to be struggling to find a rare candy, because we got a pretty big hand. I'm expecting a Marnie, and that might actually do us well, because I don't want to ditch our last 2 Torterras just to hope we find a rare candy. So they got their Umbreon. They got an Urn. But that's okay, because this Umbreon is gone next turn anyway. It doesn't matter. So we just gotta wait and see what their plan is. They researched, so no boss, which means no Leafeon getting smacked. You heal all you want. It's not gonna do anything. I'm hitting you for weakness. You're gonzo, buddy. You're gone. The Abomasnow in the Single Strike is actually a pretty interesting tech. It's probably a 1-1 line or a 2-1 line, because I'd rather use that space for Houndooms or whatever else Urns to kind of bolster up my single striking power, but it is very interesting. They're going to get their Urshifu back on the bench. Now, all 3 of their single strike energy are on this Umbreon. That's really good for us, because they're going to take out the Torterra, fine. Oh, they're not even going to, because they healed the damage from Moonlight Blade. Oh, buddy, yep, that's what I thought. That's it. Even so, it wouldn't really have mattered. We had another Torterra there, and we had them on the way. I don't know what to say. I mean, our Torterra is just smacking everybody around. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. If it helped you out, leave a comment. What changes would you make to this deck? This is probably my favorite deck in the Brilliant Stars format so far. I've been playing Mad Party a little bit. That's been really fun. All the single prize stuff is always so interesting to me, because I try and find ways to make the rogues work. I try and find ways to make them competitive. And this deck, I think, is pretty competitive. I think it with some more refinements, maybe different ways to get set up quicker, get your evolutions out more. I think it's really good. If I were to give any comments on my deck, it's not like I think it's perfect or anything. I think this is a build that is really helpful, or really solid. It's pretty consistent, as long as you don't get a bad starting hand, or like, by bad I mean terrible. I mean a terrible starting hand as like Evo Incense and like no way to search Pokemon. As long as you don't get that, you're gonna be flying with this deck. One improvement I have is maybe you could put in a Battle VIP pass, and kind of go all in with your Peony. Go with a 4 Peony, 4 Battle VIP if you want to get your setup done quickly, because that's the way to go. Even if you go second, you can find double Battle VIP, throw all your guys on the board, and then the problem after would be getting all your evolution set up. So that's why I originally didn't go that approach. I went this more approach, which is more centric on your second turn onward. So even if you don't have the greatest start, you can use your Elusive Master, Beedrill, you can use your Emergency Surfing Empoleon, and you can get in play much faster. That's pretty much all I would really say for this deck. Like, I tried it out with the researches, didn't really work out too well. I tried it out with other energy accelerators that weren't Leafeon. Like, I tried it out with Cherum, didn't work out too well because Cherum is so frail. I tried it with Rillaboom, which is another stage 2 just to accelerate energy. Not really worth it. I think Bibarel is the best partner to Torterra in terms of a secondary single prizer, because it's your draw engine. It's like your Genesect and their evolution Pokemon, so they contribute to Evo Press. Anyways, yeah, that's my thoughts on the deck. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As I said, like if you enjoyed, and drop a sub, because I got a lot more Brilliant Stars content on the way. As always, guys, Hitmonchanning out.